Hi guys, welcome to a movie cruise special. Today we'll be giving our 5 worst movies of 2024.
To check out our initial thoughts on the movies discussed in this special, please check our channel below.
This list comprises of movies we've watched and reviewed in 2024 as a group and does not complete the entirety of all the films released in 2024. Let's get into the reviews, guys.
Hi guys, these are my 5 worst movies of 2024. Start us off, my number 5, Craven. Really just, I don't know what to say about this movie. I mean, Aaron Taylor Johnson was the only shining light. You can tell he put a lot of effort in, but just the writing, the villains, more villains, no climax, nothing, just a linear garbage really. Just didn't hit for me, and just, yeah, glad it's over. Number 4, Twisters. This movie, just the whole time I was sitting in the cinema, I was just waiting for it to end. I was just bored out of my brains, or could not connect to the story, the characters. I didn't feel in danger at all. It just wanted it to end. It felt similar to me as Fall, and yeah, just I did not like this movie. Number 3, Argyle. Still to this day, you chuck 100 twists at me, it loses its factor after the third one. Just the acting was poor. The way it looked, the CGI was just cheap looking. It just that felt like it went on for eternity. And yeah, the writing for me was just poor. My number 2, Drive Away Dolls. I don't really recall much from this movie. I just didn't have a great time. I didn't have a good time. I didn't have any time. It's just I wanted it to end pretty much as soon as it started. It didn't go anywhere. It just felt like a waste of time, and I didn't enjoy it. My worst movie for 2024 is Madam Web. No surprise. It had no writing whatsoever. The acting was shocking. The action, there was none of it. It's a comic book movie with no action. Explain to me how this is happening. I don't know. It was just bore. I actually remember walking out of that cinema angry. I've never felt like that, but lo and behold, there you go.
Hey guys, John here. This is my worst 5 films for 2024. So to start us off at number 5, we have Demon Slayer in the Hashiran Training. So this was part of my list back earlier this year. To me, it's not really a film as much of a catch up on the previous series of the show. So going into it, unless you've seen the show, you can't really get much from it. For me, it's not really a film. It's just a recap like you would have at the start of any kind of Netflix show or anything like that. So it just didn't interest me. I can't remember really anything about it other than swords, and that's only because that's what we gave it out of back then. Other than that, it was just a real snooze fest. Moving on to number 4. This was a film that me and Moon saw together, Imaginary. So it's a horror film. You know, there were really good horror films this year, like Smile 2. I thoroughly enjoyed that. But then you have this, and it's one of these Blumhouse typical, we're going to make it look scarier than it is in the trailer, and then it's just going to be absolute garbage. And that's what this was. It wasn't scary. Chauncey the bear wasn't frightening, not like Chucky or anything like that. So just an absolutely abysmal watch for me in terms of a horror aspect. No real scares. The jump scares were even poorly done that they don't really scare you. So that's really it for a horror. If it can't scare you, then what's the point? Number 3, we got Madam Web. Now, back then I said it, and I'll say it again. Even Sydney Sweeney couldn't save this one. It was just a terrible film. The villain was incoherent, couldn't understand him properly. The ADR was terrible. It was a superhero movie without superheroes. Now, we saw Kraven the Hunter later on this year. At least for a superhero or anti-villain kind of movie, we had action and stakes and something happening. This had nothing. It was pretty much just girls running around New York City for like an hour and a half, and it was just absolute boring and just a terrible film, and Dakota Johnson was just crap. So, well, I don't know. It's just I think all she can do is 50 Shades of Grey. But what are you going to do? My number two goes to The Crow. For me, this was just a boring film compared to the Crow from 1994. This was not anywhere near the quality and the expectation that I had. I thought that I'd be getting something similar, but the story was a bit changed and it just didn't have the depth. The action scenes weren't really good. It went for a lot more of an artsy look that I didn't particularly care for. And it just, to me, didn't really scream superhero, didn't really scream action. The love story between the two main characters was just, for me, it wasn't anything interesting. It wasn't anything good. And to be honest with you, it was something that I didn't really need. I'll never watch it again. And whoever the FKA lady is, she was just crap actress, whatever she is. Just don't cast her in nothing again. That's a waste of time. And Bill Skarsgård does do good stuff. Like I saw Boy Kills World earlier this year, and that got on my top list last time. So it's not for lack of trying. It's just poor film. Dishonorable mention. So this goes to challenges. Now, I rated this lower the last time that we reviewed, but I think after watching it again and going through it, if you can modulate the sound, it really does make the film a lot more palatable. And somehow this won like a Golden Globe for its sound, so go figure. The one thing that I don't like about this film is the one thing that it gets an award for. So for me, the story was boring. It's a love triangle that's split up and broken into different bits. It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing groundbreaking. Tennis is not that interesting to start with as a sport. It's not like Happy Madison where they take golf and they make it fun. It's like they take something and then try and make an analogy, and it just was a flop. So they can say it's great all they want, but for me, number one, Driveway Dolls. So I saw Margaret Qualley in The Substance with Demi Moore, and that was a great film. She is a good actress, and in the things that I've seen her in, I find her great. In this film, I was just surprised why she would even do it. I think it's the same thing like Megalopolis. When you hear the name of the Coen brothers or a Coen brother, you just want to work with them, and that's the only reason I can understand why she was in this film. Same with Pedro Pascal, but the storyline just terrible. There was no stakes. It wasn't interesting. It was short. It would have been great if it never existed to start with. Then I wouldn't have had to watch it. But yeah, just the whole story was terrible, to be honest with you. Something I wasn't interested in, and I I won't go back to anytime soon. So yeah, thanks.
Hey guys, these are the five worst movies of 2024 according to me. Number five, Megalopolis. I don't remember what this movie was when I watched it. I still don't know what this movie is. It was just a drag. The movie had such great actors somehow, and this movie didn't work. Oh my God, it was so bad. I was feeling agitated. I wanted it to go home. I will never watch this movie ever again. Number four, Imaginary. I watched a lot of horror during 2024, but we didn't review all of them. But this was one of the worst horror movies in a long time. Somehow this could work. This movie could have worked so well. They could have used different imaginary powers, but they used the worst things they could have done with this movie, and yeah, didn't use your imagination. Number three, Madam Web. So I was just talking to the boys, is it Craven or Madam Web? So I went and I watched Madam Web. I mean, first 10 minutes, I was like, yeah, Madam Web is really bad. Like, yeah, the villain is so bad. Everything is super bad. I just don't know what they think. I'm just glad the Sony, whatever the worst is, it's over. It's all done. We're good. Number two, Drive Away Dolls. This movie had Pedro Pascal, and this movie is in my bottom two, like it's my bottom five. That speaks a lot. I love Pedro Pascal, and I love Margaret Qualley, but this movie is utter garbage, trash. I mean, I can't conjure. How can some people come, like the Coen brothers, one of them came up with this story about sex toys and I don't know what else. What is this movie, man? I just I can't believe I actually sat through the whole thing. I could have just left. I don't know why I put myself through that. Please do well, please. Dishonorable mention, Joker Folie à Deux. My God, how can you ruin a Joker movie? That's how you do it. Make it Folie à Deux. I don't know. What were they doing? Why make a Joker 2? There was no point. And yeah, make it musical. Oh yeah, a Joker fan basically who loved the Joker movie, the first one, and how can you make everything worse? Make it a musical and make me sit through all that crap. Please, please, Todd Phillips, please get your shit together, all right? Don't ever make such movies again. Number one, Challengers. Um, I have read so many comments and people saying that I don't get the movie. Maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I should watch it again. I'm not gonna do it because this movie is so bad. The music was so awful. I just can't cope with that pain again. I don't like pain, so please never tell me again to watch that thing again. I'll say one thing. I think Cameron pointed out in his review that if you like sweaty commercials, so if that's your thing, please go watch it again. Challenges might be your thing, but it's not mine.
Thanks guys for watching the video. If you like it, give us a like down below. Subscribe to the channel to see what films are coming in 2025. Ciao.